All right, MA Marignon, turn 30. We're going for a capital this turn. I realized, ooh, looks like we have another magic phase attack. More birds, probably. Dire Portent, always good news. Oh, yeah, I realized I didn't have anybody set to attack rear. Oh, yeah, Lion Tribe. I think this is just north of our capital. Goodbye, province. We are kind of a little more susceptible to this because, we only get the Friar, who is he's very snipeable commander, very easy to snipe. But it's still not impossible. Yeah, Lion Tribe is so bad. So yeah, this is really working out against us. But again, it's kind of like, he's not drawing income off of this, right? Like it's not connected to his territory. And this is now 30 air gems that, the bird went somewhere else. That was on our capital, right? So no resistance there. So we're gonna recapture this stuff really quickly. So it's a little annoying, but yeah, it's fine. Let's take a look at what matters. So yeah, we've seen this army. Okay, interesting. So it looks like he chose not to patrol. I'm guessing that he gets some eagles as part of his PD, which is pretty cool actually. You don't tend to get sacreds in your province defense. So this is enough to trigger gem usage, which is a little sad. I guess, there's just enough units here. It's kind of odd. There's that stack of jaguars. I don't know, not stack, but, decent amount of jaguars. And they decided not to use gems for that, but then this triggers gem usage? I don't know. Always intriguing. So, yeah, he chose not to patrol, which is probably a bad thing. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. We'll dig him out of his fort eventually. But yeah, would have preferred to defeat him in the field. So that was, nicely done. We probably friendly fired. Yeah, no kills there. So we killed one of our own knights, but it happens. And then yeah, okay. So we caught a battle between and Ariu. And yeah, this is Ur's Pretender moving out. No defense here. I think we've seen this Pretender before. Let's see if nope, looks like the same kind of kitting. But yeah, I know that Ariu is, somewhat worried about that Pretender. So that's good that she's cruising around and causing problems for our neighbor. Let's take a look at what this Dire Portent. Okay, yeah, Mother Oak. Asphodel. Okay, so Asphodel must be doing decently well. And I guess it makes sense. Pangea is obviously not doing so well. Maybe it's been eliminated. I can't remember. So yeah, Mother Oak, not too worried about it. I'm sure his neighbors are not thrilled. And then this is probably our reinforcements. Yeah. And the Pretender did not show up here, and no PD dump or anything. So all my worrying was for naught. We take that with hopefully no problem. Yeah, we friendly fire one of our knights. There's a theme here. We will eventually get arrow fend, so that'll be less of a problem. Of course, then, other people will have arrow fend, so it won't be very useful to have the crossbowman. And then I think this is the bird just trying to lock down another one of our forts. But yeah, he does snipe the lone commander, but, it doesn't take that much to kill a single Blackhawk or Greathawk, so that works out for us. But yeah, our PD is problematic. And this is, yep, yeah, he's just doubling down on this. This we might actually win. I mean, again, we're going to lose the commander, right? But then there's a good chance that the birds rout here. Yeah, right? And so the birds rout off before we do. So even though the commander gets sniped, and that is much more common. I don't know much. I mean, you can see that that spell definitely can work. It has been working for Mictlan. It's worked more times than it hasn't, by a significant margin. But this is often the result when people start investing. This is not heavy PD investment. I think it's more than 6. We probably have 10 here. Not sure where this is, but yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of air gems to be dropping. Oh. I missed this. Okay, so we're getting attacked by Ashdod. This is unfortunate. I was really hoping that Ashdod would be busy, but clearly they feel they are not busy enough. So yeah, well, we're about to get Soul Slay. So I think he has magic resistance on the bless, if I remember right. Yeah, magic resistance +3, but magic resistance 17. Yeah, we don't have any penetration gear yet. This is really bad news. Man, was really hoping that we'd be able to do like an easy war like against Nabaa and Arcocephali. Dang it. So it will take him a second to break that down. Yeah, our walls are damaged. So yeah, maybe should have seen this coming. I did reach out to him a while back about a non-aggression pact, and he never hit me back. So yeah, this is what, a thug? That's cool, I guess. This looks like a summon. Yeah, some kit. Fire resistance. That makes sense against Marignon. And good protection, and he's got this guy to bless him. Yeah. Which probably isn't even really worth I guess he's just a priest, so what else is going to be doing? We left no PD, so that's fine. We're losing a lot of provinces this turn, though, so that is a bit of an issue. It's going to cut into our income, and then, of course, we saw the battle on top of Mictlan, and then unexpected events. So lose some population, that's fine. Lose a little bit of dominion, that's also fine. This is not great. Getting a lot of revolts here, and then we get some PD. That's nice. Probably will need that. And then somebody claimed the throne of life, so everybody's younger. And then we finished a palisade. This is on top of the throne, so that is good. We will probably need that. And then the walls are severely damaged in Mictlan, so we need one more turn to break them down. And then we're under siege now from Ashdod. So I'll catch you guys after the jump. Alright, so this is the situation and what we're doing about it. So bummed that Ashdod came in on us. I really thought, I thought we were going to be on easy street here now. But we're not. We are back to, not desperation mode, but we are dumping 50 fire gems into gold, which is very sad, especially because our pretender is about to come out. Talking through this, maybe I should wait. We'll see. I'm going to think on it a little bit. Our pretender is just much more efficient at converting them, but it could be, another 6 turns, or maybe even more. And that's a really long time right now. So, I think we kind of got to do this. Maybe not have to, but we are having some gold problems, right? We have been losing, a decent amount of territory to this, that, and the other. And then, of course, our knights are very expensive. Our mages are expensive. Marignon is expensive. So we're dumping fire gems, which is fine. We have a lot of fire gems. It's kind of always the plan. The fire gems are not really going to help us all that much in our conflict with Ashdod, right? He's got 19 fire resistance on these Anakites once they get all blessed up here, if I'm remembering correctly. Come on, buddy. Yeah, so, fire elementals, I don't think are going to be particularly useful, especially considering, Blood Bond and these guys regenerate. So we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. These guys, they have 50 hit points, and they have, their protection isn't actually that great, though, right? 15 protection. It will go up once they berserk. Let's see, what are they? Yeah, berserker +2, but 17 protection. That's not great. It's not great. We should probably look into, I think we already have Strength of Giants, and with our Crystal Mages, or we don't have that many Crystal Mages, but with Strength of Giants on our Knights, we're definitely going to be able to cut through this, and, our Crossbowmen are going to be able to punch through it. Flaming Arrows, probably won't even bother casting Flaming Arrows, because not really, the flaming part is not going to do anything, but Crossbow Bolts do a lot of damage. They're armor piercing, and there's not that many of these guys, right? So, yeah, I actually think we're going to be okay, but we do need a substantial army down here. So, and then there's another stack of them up here, but of course, we do have an army in position to deal with this. We are sharding out a bunch. I need to do more stuff like this. I've been doom stacking a little too much, not taking territory quickly enough. So we'll see. A lot of this is crossbowmen raiding, right? And there's a good chance that these crossbowmen die, which is kind of why we're sending them out here, because I think these Anakites are going to come down and attack us in this province, and then, we'll see from there. And then these are also, same thing, right? Just crossbow raids. So we'll see. Haven't actually tested this. Was planning on doing it earlier. And, of course, there's a possibility, probably there's a possibility that Mictlan sallies, right, once they get their pretender in place. I expect that's why they didn't bother patrolling and defending their capital that way. So there is a chance, I think probably the pretender will be arriving in their capital this turn. But he may just move his pretender there, right? So we could have another major battle on top of Mictlan this turn. And to that end, we're bringing like most of our reinforcements. Like we're splitting out, 20 crossbowmen and a few knights. The knights are coming here because we're kind of expecting like heavier resistance potentially because there's, an unforted temple here. But I think, the 6 knights, like plus we got the incinerate guy. We'll see. But everything else is, coming on top of the capital because we are splitting out, a decent amount of stuff. Flaming arrows, of course, and our crossbowmen, very useful in this conflict. I was thinking about not taking these provinces because we really want Xibalba to not attack us. So I may actually give up, some of these. I'm going to ask Xibalba for a nap and suggest hey, you can have this fort, and then I don't know, we'll see. I may not mention that Ashdod is attacking me just yet, but I may also suggest this would be a really awkward war for them to prosecute, right? They don't actually naturally have a border. The other thing too is that I'm assuming that Phlegra and Ashdod have made peace. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it looks like Phlegra is doing fine, so I don't think Ashdod has made a ton of inroads, which is why I thought that I didn't have to worry about Ashdod. But obviously, don't have enough scouts over here. But of course, if if Ashdod is not keeping Phlegra busy, well, then Jabal really needs to worry about Phlegra. So possible counterbalance there, but we really don't want Jabal to come in on us. So. Yeah, I may give these provinces up. We'll see, and may let him have this fort as well. To keep him happy. I was thinking potentially it's there's a throne right here, the silver throne. That would be nice. These adepts, yeah, we don't get a ton of air. We will with our summons eventually, but anyway, yeah, this would have been a nice throne. So I was thinking about maybe Javalba eventually, but. That will not come to pass, at least not for a long time. But yeah, we should start to gain a lot of territory here, which is good. And then our halberdiers were moving out, to recapture, and they're still going to do this. I think we're going to give this fort up. You can see that, the giants don't siege. I mean, giants siege well, but small groups of sacreds don't siege particularly well, right? So this is going to take him a while, and he may have other stuff, right, coming in to assist with this siege, although we don't see anything here. So at this rate, it's going to take him a few turns, and then once he cracks it, we can sally out and retreat so that the majority of our mages will escape. We will hopefully, by dumping the fire gems, we're not really able to do a lot of recruitment this turn. We don't have that much money coming in. Where the grandmasters, they're not cheap. Nothing about Marignon is cheap because we don't actually have any money going into infrastructure or anything like that. But with dumping the fire gems, that'll give us a good amount of cash to recruit up another force here, and then we're actually pulling these troops down because we move really slowly, and we need to clear these independent provinces. And then I'm going to talk to Nabaa and see where they're at. They actually have cracked Arcocephali's capital, so maybe things aren't going as badly as they thought. But yeah, just gonna sound them out and maybe grab some of these independent provinces, right? Because this has turned independent and this has been independent for a while. So we're gonna use this force to clear our own independence, maybe grab some other independent provinces and maybe this one as well. Probably we won't mess with Arco, right? Really kind of depends. I'll reach out to Nabaa again and see what the deal is. I'm definitely gonna have to do some Diplo. This Ashdod situation is gonna force me into motion there. Because if Arco is coming back and is actually able to recapture, has a significant army left, then we may have to give up some of this territory, but we can hold it in the meantime. And I really don't want to lose out. If things are as bad and as weak as he was saying, then it's I would like to snap up some of this territory. I don't know if we'll be able to grab the capital, but it kind of depends. I mean, if they fight a really nasty battle and there isn't much left on either side, then maybe that's the first thing our army does, because like I said, I do think we'll have a few turns right while this siege drags on, And like, Ashdod doesn't really look like they're set to take, a lot of provinces from us quickly. So like, I think this might take a second, and yeah, I really don't want to lose out on this. But we will like loop back around to join with our reinforcements, and like, yeah, we're just gonna be relying on like crossbowmen, knights, and soulslay. Soulslay isn't gonna be great until we get a little more research, but we want to go up construction anyway, so we might even try to wait until we hit like construction 4. I think there's some penetration boosters at that level. I'll have to double check. I don't remember offhand. Some of them are definitely at 6, and 6 will probably be too late, but 4 is reachable. And so yeah, we'll forge ourselves some penetration boosters. We'll have soulslay, and we'll have a pile of knights and a pile of crossbowmen. Maybe grab some halberdiers as well, because I think they're going to do decent against the Anakites. And like, yeah, I actually think we're going to be okay. I think this is maybe a bit of a mistake for Ashdod. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, he does have, right, he has magic resistance on the Bless, and he has a ton of built-in fire resistance, as well as fire resistance on the Bless, right? And it's like, well, what can Marignon do? They can do fire, and they can do astral. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably feeling like, he's in a pretty good spot, but he doesn't, it's like he can't, again, the problem with the cap-only sacreds is you can only get so many of them, right? You're pretty limited. And, I'm not there yet, right? We're really hoping to kick our sacred production into high gear once our pretender comes out, and we start to get like more infrastructure online. Like, we'll probably turn Mictlan into a citadel, assuming we capture it. I'm sure everything will go swimmingly. So yeah, we're not really quite to the point where like we're just going to be able to drown someone in Knights of the Chalice, but we're close. And we can still recruit 3 forts, right, to his 1 fort. And this is an argument maybe to not wait. Like, if we can, the reason I built the fort in the cave is we have Spirit Sight, and those Anakites do not. So if we can take a fight in the cave, that would be ideal. So we may curtail, especially like if Nabaa is making a comeback, right? And they're like, no, like, don't come in on us. Like, things have actually changed. Like, we're winning. So we may just recapture from the Indies, and maybe negotiate for this province for like a nap, and basically be like, hey, this should have always been ours. So like, and I'd be willing to like buy it off them, pay them like 100 gold or something. And then sign a non-aggression pact potentially, or yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Really kind of depends. And then of course, like, Ariu had made noises about coming in on Ashdod, so obviously my stance has changed a lot about the desirability of that joint war. So I'll definitely talk to him, and see where he's at. Obviously, he's still finishing off and of course, like, now ironically it's like kind of rooting against now, probably. And then I'll reach out probably to Utgard as well, Jotunheim, because like, yeah, they have a fairly substantial border with Ashdod, and probably will reach out to Phalegra as well, to see like, hey, are you still fighting Ashdod? Like, what's going on there? How do you feel about attacking frog people? And just kind of see like, well, what their plans are, because they're a neighbor of neighbors, so they're probably somebody we can be relatively friendly with. So yeah, I think that more or less covers it. I guess the only other thing, and then of course Bandar. We're fighting 3 people right now. Yeah, Bandar, like, whatever, it's fine. He's got his thug. He's doing his thing. We'll deal with him when he comes back out. Hopefully, yes, we'll keep him busy. We haven't really seen any action other than that. But the only other thing that I was gonna say is, like, maybe Pangea's dead, but very much not dead. Like, they're doing some deep raiding. I mean, their capital is locked down, but it's not cracked. So yeah, if they can keep Abyssia busy, and Abyssia is like so far south now with a lot of their forces, and there was like a pretty big stack of their troops here, and we've seen that's moved out, so that's probably headed to deal with Pangea, so that's really good news. So it's not all bad news. We do see a giant stack here from Tianqi, but we're seeing like fire ants and like buffaloes. Like, this is sort of similar to like what I'm doing with burning all the fire gems, like a little more on the desperate side of things. Fire ants are actually like okay, but yeah, I don't think buffaloes are great. But anyway, it's got a pretty big stack here. It still hasn't unlocked this fort, so clearly things can't be going that great. But, you know, he's not done. So yeah, I think that covers turn 30. It wasn't, you know, quite as good as I'd hoped. All right, MA Marignon, turn 31. Let's see what our opponents have in store for us this turn. Finished some research in thaumaturgy and evocation. Made some changes there, which I'll talk about in a second. Let's see, looks like Ulm has claimed a throne, the Throne of Knowledge. Ulm has, in the Middle Age especially, pretty good research anyway, and the Throne of Knowledge provides sages, so you get even better research. So yeah, this is actually kind of a little scary. I don't know. I guess they already have good research, so it doesn't matter as much. But then again, they have good research, so now they're just going to have insane research. I'm not sure. It's not good. So anyway, good for them. Bad for us. Yeah, we dumped some fire gems, and this is a good amount of gold. I did a little bit of testing. Our pretender can convert the same amount of fire gems into 2,400 gold. So yeah, a pretty significant improvement. And there's a few items that we could give them to get an even better ratio. So yeah, it is sad, you know, to not be getting as much gold, but we will definitely spend that all this turn. And then of course we missed with all of our site searching naturally. And then yeah, like just a whole grab bag of battles. So let's take a look here. Timeless Waste. Yeah, this is our paladins going against the temple. Oh, nice. These are maidens, Amazons. These ones are garnets, and they provide pretty good access to blood magic, so they are arguably the best Amazons, and all Amazons are really nice. So this is a really nice find, and assuming everything goes well, we will take advantage of that. And there's a battle in Uruk. This should be interesting and is relevant to us. So it looks like Uruk is riding out with a substantial force here, and their pretender. Let's see if there's no change in the kitting. I know Ariu was a bit worried that they were going to be trading for gear with other players, but it looks like they haven't. Good amount of gems on some casters. Not too many though. Looks like mostly gemless. So yeah, we'll see. Uruk is a communion nation, and these Iron Warriors are probably their best like recruitable troops. You know, they have decent protection. Their skills are okay. A lot of hit points. They're berserkers though, so they do a lot of damage. So yeah, they're good troops. And then he's got some of these summons. I didn't realize that got a hold of these so early. And yeah, they're pretty good. You know, the higher than normal attack skill will be appreciated. Although it looks like, yeah, Ariu just left the militia unled, so chose not to contest this breakout, which would have been good for us, but now is probably bad because we need Ariu to finish Uruk off and join us against Ashdod. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then like a couple battles in Arcocephali. So it looks like there's an attempted breakout, or yeah, actually, Bob mentioned that the dragon was headed back. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Naboth still has like a serious stack here. You know, he's got his sacreds and light on the caster support. And don't these guys, they have like, yeah, built-in fire resistance? I think, yeah, he just has the built-in. But still, I mean, this is a fire dragon. Let's see. Ooh, it's a fire dragon with a limp. But also looks like he's given him basically no paths in magic. Because I think he comes with fire 1. So this is like just a, you know, absolutely vanilla red dragon here. No worries about regeneration, and you can see like, yeah, the protection's not that high. This dragon actually isn't that scary. So yeah, we can definitely kill this. But he does have a fire breath, right? He's still a dragon. So like, yeah, but I think that you're going to be fine. Because yeah, these half giants, right, like they hit decently hard, not as hard as our paladins, but still should be enough to, yeah, see this dragon off. This is kind of one of the issues with the expander chassis. Ooh, the fear aura hit them. Ouch, that really sucks. And fear is very powerful. These guys have high morale too. So our Knights of the Chalice have lower morale, I'm pretty sure. This is a case, definitely looks like all of these guys were in one squad. I think, you know, 2 squads or even 3 squads to help mitigate issues like this, right? If one squad routes, then maybe the other 2 will not. So yeah, I think Naboth could have won that, but it did not work out for them. And they don't really take very many casualties. You can see it's pretty much just the fear aura that does them in. And what? The dragon died. Hold on. I missed that one. Let's see, the casters were still on the field, right? So I'm assuming I like these bows. They're just short bows, so they do bow stuff, but wasn't really expecting him. Wow, yeah, they're still getting damage on this guy, and he was already so injured from the sacreds, right? Like, yeah, and he just dies to short bows. Yeah, wow, there you go, short bow. Very sad. He may have been unscripted. I think setting like a dragon to attack or maybe fire. I think they'll use their breath weapon if they attack, or rather if they're given an attack order. Anyway, I think that's definitely the way to go rather than leaving them set to cast spells or unscripted, because if you don't have a lot of research, and it didn't look like Arcocephali had much research, the spells they cast just aren't as effective as the dragon just meleeing people. So yeah, that actually works out for Nabab, but definitely a little scary. He may have had some retreats there. And then we caught a battle between Ashdod and Phlegra, and this is definitely very important, though I do sort of fear for Phlegra. I asked them if they'd been using Soul Slay and how that was going, and he said his research wasn't that good, but he does have a lot of guys with axes. And yeah, it seemed very honest, and it sure looks like he's pretty honest, because that pretty much is what he's got right here, and that's all that he's got. I think this is like roughly equal numbers of Anakites and axe warriors. So, make your bets. But let's just say the Helit warriors have a little bit of an uphill struggle. He does have just one commander. Yeah, minimal PD. This is not going to go well. So yeah, I don't think Phlegra is long for this world, if this is all that he has. But it may just be a raiding group, right? He may have other answers. Hopefully he has other answers. That wasn't a ton of axemen, so he probably at minimum has a bigger stack of axemen somewhere. But I don't plan on relaying this information to Ariu immediately, let's put it that way. I'll just let him know that they are still fighting, which is true. And, it could work out. Okay, so we found where some of the birds went, but this being led by a paladin. Oh boy, laggy map. So yeah, we don't care about birds. Paladins are not going to get sniped, and halberdiers do just fine against birds. We may lose one, but yeah, so goodbye air gems, and like the PD, they're not really going to matter. So yeah, that works out for us. No losses. Again, just kind of highlights the limitations, of this spell. It is nice, because the Greyhawk is a flying commander. Like, I actually like this spell more than some people, I think, but it's not a powerful spell. And so then these next guys must be our crossbow raids. Wait, what? More knights. Oh, wait, right. This is near our capital. Okay, yep. This all makes sense. And there's nothing here. Excellent. Then this one must be our crossbow raid, or one of them. Yeah, here we go. So 20 crossbows, not quite 6 PD and lion tribes, so I think we are going to be just fine. Come on, guys. Yeah, there you go. So they went for the commander. It works out. I don't think we lost anybody, so I will take it. Yeah, but against very light PD, that's less than 6 and kind of a weak PD type. So we'll see about going down to fewer crossbowmen in the future. And then Xibalba did get back to me. I let them know that I was making the raids that were on their border so that we wouldn't bump, and they let me know that they would be jumping on top of Miklin's other fort this turn, which I suggested they could have, and they agreed to a non-aggression pact as well. So that's great news. He probably doesn't know that I'm being attacked by Ashdod yet, so good timing to be getting that non-aggression pact, because he could be seeing some Ashdod flags pop up in my lands, and that might have encouraged him. But we're going to try to be a decent ally to him, and if things start to go really poorly for Phlegra, we may let Xibalba know that, like, hey, why don't you help finish off Phlegra, since it'll keep them busy, which is good. You want busy neighbors. And then it will also, put them in contention with Ashdod, right? Racing to get territory. It'll be less territory that Ashdod gets. Then it will also leave Xibalba with a border with Ashdod, right? And if I'm already fighting Ashdod and then Ariu is fighting them as well, it's like, hey, it's already a 2v1. Ashdod is really scary. Do you really want to deal with them on your own? Like, I think it should be a relatively easy sell. So we're going to give Phlegra, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 more turns, 3 more turns. It kind of depends. Like, as long as Xibalba is tied down with that Mictlan fort, then, he's at least got something to chew on. He probably already has thoughts in Phlegra's direction anyway, so there's no need to immediately throw Phlegra under the bus. If they can, they are fighting Ashdod right now. So a bird in hand is better than 2 in the bush. And then I said that we weren't going to bump. But here's a bump. I didn't actually alert them to this raid because I forgot that they have stealthy raiders. So yeah, that's an oversight on my part. I'm sure we'll both be a bit annoyed about this, but this sort of just feeds into, because this is where Ashdod is. Ooh, nice. Our commanders are going for the yeah, but it's not going to work out. Or our archers went for the commanders. So yeah, Skelly spam is strong, and we could have gotten a commander in the volley there, but we didn't. So yeah, this is not the end of the world, and like I said, it's gonna kind of mix them up with Ashdod even more effectively. So I'll probably just reach out and let him know, like, whoops, like, forgot that you could stealthy raid, and obviously he didn't let me know about that raid either, right? So we're kind of racing for territory, and that does cut down on our spoils, but I never wanted to be fighting over here in the first place. So if this lets us have a stable border up here, I'm totally okay with it. And then speaking of Phlegra fighting Ashdod, here's a battle in Nazca. Oh yeah, so it looks like Phlegra has a little more than just dudes with axes, although not much more. So he has some of they're not sacreds, these Giganti warriors. They're cap only. They take the place of the Gigantes from the previous era that Macon had. And, they're okay. They've better than average skills, like a lot of hit points, good strength, of course. They are larger than in earlier eras. Size 5 is nice. Their protection is like mediocre. Like, they only have 1 attack. Their attack density is not great. They have a lot of nasty tags on the strategic map. They are berserkers, which is cool. They have built-in fire and poison resistance. Like, yeah, they're not bad, but they're not Anakites either. So yeah, he's got some of them, and it looks like maybe just a commander, yeah, who's been kind of tricked out, right? He's the one who won the arena. Very nice. He's enormous strength, less useful on such a strong chassis, but boy, howdy. He is definitely going to kill Anakites, and he's lucky. That's from the Champion's Trident, and then, like, yeah, he's got some reinvigoration gear on him, which is, like, always a solid choice, I feel like. Yeah, he's fatigue positive, so this dude's not going to fall asleep, and he's boosted his attack skill, which is cool. And then I think the Trident, yeah, gives him quickness. So, like, yeah, this guy's going to be killing guys. This is a decently effective answer, honestly, to Anakites. So that's very cool. And then he has, like, just some regular old Mouflons, which I think you can just summon in. Yeah, they're starving. Like, yeah, these aren't great. I do think they're good siege strength. So, and he's kind of got them in the back here. So I think they're just here for siege strength. And, they're perfectly acceptable, I think, for that use. I mean, you already have a pile of axemen. And then also, like, these Gigantes have really high strength. So do you really need to, like, I think these are summons, so it's like, using gems to bring these in? I don't know. Maybe you don't have to use gems to bring them in, but I don't think this is, like, strictly necessary, but not crazy. And then his Pretender is here. Also a Bronze Colossus that's been pretty heavily kitted out. Like, yeah, this is kind of a scary dude. I don't know about the Wraith Sword. It will heal him because he's inanimate, and inanimates cannot regenerate via normal methods, but Draining Life is totally on the table, so in that sense, it's a great pick. The attack is not good though, right? The Bronze Colossus he's not the best fighter out there. He's not actually a trampler, which is interesting. So it does look like you have to give him some sort of weapon, and it's pretty early research wise. I guess we're getting towards mid game. You could totally have construction 4. Anyway, this is what Phlegra has gone with. 35 protection would normally be really, really bad news. But okay, so it looks like they just ran into some Bakemono that Ashdod has been using to raid. So they're going to roll over this. Just kind of interested to see. So what is this guy? Mirror Image, that's cool. Flying Shield, yeah. So, this is all solid stuff to be casting. Summon Earth Power to help out with, fatigue issues. Iron Skin pushes his protection up to 36, which normally, like, we would struggle a bit with that, but Ashdod with their giants, like, probably can still get through this. I'm not really sure. 36 protection, you don't see a ton, so good work. Suns out, buns out. But I don't think it's going to help him that much in this case. Nice, and he can fly too. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't love to go up against this. I think Phlegra definitely has a fighting chance here. And then this is maybe another one of our crossbow raids. Yes. Against a good amount of PD, right? So this is going to be a better test, and we might lose this because this is a bit of a PD dump. I guess maybe should have seen this coming. Nice, we got a route. Wow, that was really lucky. Because, like, yeah, that was looking not so hot. So there you go, 20 crossbowmen. They can raid, absolutely, if they get lucky. But anyway, this was on the border with Xibalba, I believe, right? So makes sense that there's a little more PD here. And then we get attacked by Ashdod in Forgotten Woods. I think this is, near some territory that Xibalba cut off. So yeah, we have some PD here. Yeah, these guys, we know how this is going to go. And then it looks like Micklin rode out. So yeah, there's probably going to be a pretender here. This is going to matter a lot. But yeah, there's not that much here. So it's really just a question of, like, can we kill the pretender, right? Because we know how it goes with the Jaguars, and there's a few more Eagles here. So, he's brought, I'm really shocked. Like, where are the casters? I don't know. That seems a little disrespectful because I know he has casters, like, in his capital. Like, maybe he's trying to hit some research, but kind of feels like, well, just wait a few turns then, because I don't think we probably got the crack this turn, but he could have rode out next turn with the mages. Anyway, the Eagles come in. That's not a problem. Knights go in. Don't know where the pretender went. He retreated, maybe? No, he went to the back, of course. Did he get a mage? Nope, looks like he either got a scout or a pale one. Those random commanders doing us more favors. There was an incinerate, and he has changed his kitting, right? So he's now fire resistance 10 thanks to this ring of fire, and he probably has changed his script. Yeah, no, there is a bark skin. But you can see even with, 10 fire resistance, we were able to get, not a ton, actually a good amount of damage through. Yeah, incinerate is just a really good spell. But it actually triggered, I think we may have actually just routed, yeah, I think this is an HP route, right? So, we just killed the army, and this is the danger of trying to use the pretender. Interesting. So it says that his morale has failed, and I'm assuming we hit the HP route threshold, but he is stunned. Maybe it's just taking him a second to get the memo. So we stunned him probably with Heavenly Fire. I do think he just killed one of our mages now. Yeah, we just lost a Witch Hunter, so that is sad. But the Knights are coming back, and, like, yeah, now, the crossbowmen aren't really doing anything, and he does have a ton of hit points because this is his highest dominion, and it looks like he's a berserker. That's what happened. So he's gone berserk, so we are not out of the woods yet, but his skills are not good. His protection is, actually no, his skills are fine, right, because he doesn't care about the darkness, so that's not going to help us there. But now let's see if our knights are enough. Yeah, so we are getting damage through. Of course, like, he regenerates at a good amount, and, like, yeah, we don't have any cold resistance either. Oh no, we do have a little bit of cold resistance. Very nice. So that's going to help us out against the Frostbrand. Ooh, 31 is a lot. But still, his health is headed downwards, and, we will start to pick up afflictions, right? We're going to start inflicting afflictions on him. He doesn't really have any encumbrance, though, so yeah, he's fatigue neutral, so he's not going to fall asleep. So yeah, we got to kill this guy the old-fashioned way, definitely. A chest wound would be great. Yeah, there's a couple big hits in there. So we gave him a limp. We don't really care so much about that right now, but this is looking pretty good. Like, yeah, big regen tick. But we just need a couple more lucky rolls. Come on, guys. So close. We need another one of those, no, not one of his 31s, one of our 31s. So yeah, we had a guy wake up and do an incinerate. Yeah, this is starting to look a little more on the scary side of things. Come on, Knights, we believe in you. We're hoping to get more incinerates, but of course, I think we lost our Communion Master. No. Looks like our Communion Leader is still up. Of course, he's not getting boosted anymore because he only had the one Communion Slave, so he can't do Incinerate anymore. There we go. The Knights did pull it out. So yeah, that went about as well as could be expected. We killed the Pretender. That's really the main thing that matters. Yeah, the Jags, like, they didn't do anything. And we lose 20 Knights, which is is sad, but kind of is going to help our upkeep situation anyway. And, then we lose a Witch Hunter, which is annoying because they're a little bit difficult to replace for this army. But I don't think there's really anything inside the fort now. So yeah, we're probably just going to go right in, and it's going to be real nice and easy. So kind of preferred that he came out and fought us. And I think that's probably all she wrote for Mictlan. And then there was another battle in Arcocephali. So this is probably a storm. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping this fails. Yeah, so it looks like most of his stuff did not run off. But yeah, Arcocephali definitely has a defense in here. So he's spread out his troops to guard commanders, and this is pretty good, right? He's got full squares here, so the point buffing is going to be on point. And then speaking of point buffing, he's got a few elephants here, which he's probably planning on doing a little point buffing. Not a lot here though, right? A decent number of mages, but like nothing to stop the gap. There's a lot of sacreds, no fear aura from the dragon. So let's see. And they're not going to love arrow fire, right? These are all just dudes in robes, or I guess there's also a lady in robes here. And she made some bugs, always a good choice, but it's not that many bugs. And then the birds jump in, of course, because Nabaa has that, but they are seen away by the bodyguards, so that's good work there. What have these mystics been doing? Okay, so this guy's just a communion slave, so it looks like there's a communion going down, so it's going to matter less that, he has this nice setup with the squares, because these communion slaves are not going to be casting any more spells. Here's a communion master. So 7 slaves, really big communion for like how many mages are here, and I think probably is not going to do him any favors. Yeah, well, while it's nice that, all the slaves are going to get Twist Fate and Iron Skin, now he's just going to do, Sailor's Death, which actually did more damage than I was expecting, but, he's just targeting a falcon, right? One of the birds that came in, and I'm pretty sure it's single target, and he probably just has like 1 or 2 masters, so like, yeah, he's just going to get run over here by Nabaa, I think, and Nabaa's sacreds. Although, they don't have magic weapons, but there isn't really any body ethereal spam. This guy's been spamming out a little bit, so that's good, but there's nothing really here that's going to do any killing other than the elephants, who I'm not sure what is going on, but yeah. Oh, you know what? They've been enraged. Nice. Let's take a look and see who did this. Yeah, so here. So this was probably scripted. Oh wait, no, excuse me. This is Fireflies. So not sure who enraged that elephant, but I didn't really work out. So anyway, like, yeah, Nabaa takes Arcocephali's capital. So now they have exchanged capitals, which is, yeah, a weird outcome for a war. And then we get the breach in Mictlan. So like I said, we'll probably be going in this turn. We had an unexpected event, found some fire gems, very nice. We lost a witch hunter to disease, and then relay was eliminated. So yeah, I'll see you guys after the jump. Alright, this is the situation and what we're doing about it. Before I forget, a quick note on research. I switched things up. I actually updated my last turn that I submitted because I remembered a spell that would be useful for us in this situation. So at Evocation 5, there is Gifts from Heaven, which is oftentimes something that mages like to cast off script that you'd rather that they not. So this brings down, basically a bunch of meteors, and they do a ton of damage. It's very inaccurate. It even has this tag here, inaccurate, in the spell description. So friendly fire is always on the table. We will kill our knights with this spell, no doubt, and whoever else is up there, but 150 damage. This will kill Anakites, one of the few things that like reliably will. Now Soul Slay, of course, right, which we already have, so maybe this is overkill, right? I was looking at it and like, well, yes, magic resistance is on this bless, which is sad for Soul Slay. The overall result is only 17, right? So he's got no anti-magic support here or anything like that. That's really going to make things painful. So this is going to hurt, but I think we can still Soul Slay through this. So maybe I'm going overkill and should just continue on with our construction research, which we do desperately want. But, fire magic, Fire Nation, evocation is definitely a thing we like to do. We will want to run up evocation eventually, and, why just have one answer when you can have two? We don't have a ton of Earth Astral, right? So here's one of our Earth Astral guys who's out and about, and I think, the other one probably died to a disease. The aging is, I don't know, unaging. We'll talk about it more later, but it's definitely a consideration. I think we have... Yeah, there's another guy here, but thankfully we have the Crystal Throne, so this is huge, right, because it's Earth Astral. So we're bringing back our one Crystal Site Searcher. We're actually pulling this Crystal Mage out of this fort, because Ashdod actually raided south here and unlocked our fort for us. Very kind. So we're going to build a temple here so we can start to produce paladins in this cave. Or not paladins, maybe paladins actually, but Knights of the Chalice. We've talked about how they're going to do a little better in a cave. Right now we're just making, halberdiers. So that is where some of our money is going. I don't know what he's planning on doing with this group. It sucks for me to lose a province, but it's okay, yeah, come on down. We got plenty of forts down here. You're never going to siege through this with 15 Anakites or whatever. It's going to take forever. That said, he has caught us at a bit of an awkward moment. Our forts are still not very upgraded. We lose a ton of resources from this province, right? From 2 forts. These Indies, which we're getting rid of, they're chewing up a lot of our resources, so we can't actually really recruit a lot of knights. We're doing some halberdiers, some flagellants, because we just need damage output. They'll do good in the dark, which will help. Otherwise, they are probably going to struggle to connect. So yeah, I don't know. We just trying to fill out as many numbers as possible. We are still at least getting some more knights on the capital, and full casters and everything. But just some flagellants and halberdiers down here. Not the best round of recruitment for all the fire gems that we dumped. We are trying to upgrade this fort into a fortress, which could not finish. It depends. He may just roll at my capital, which is kind of also fine. In fact, maybe even preferred. Would prefer that he not lock down our recruitment of these crystal mages, right? Because that's going to help us get the gifts from heaven. And if I'm recalling correctly, I think there's blood bond on this bless, which is going to make the rocks even better. Yeah, blood bond. I have personal experience with this, having played around with a blood bond bless. Blood bond is definitely super cool, and it transfers damage. So half damage done to the unit gets transferred to nearby sacred units, which normally for Anakites with their big hit point pool and regeneration, also on the bless, super handy. Way less handy when you're getting hit by 150 damage from a rock that actually can kill Anakites. So the rocks are going to be extra good against Anakites in this situation, and definitely looking forward to dropping rocks on these fellows. I don't know. We'll see where he goes. He's going to shut down some production. Our production is a little anemic. We need to start upgrading these forts. Hopefully our pretender will come out soon. We need to do more site searching for more fire gems because we don't have enough fire gems. We're still actually only getting 8 a turn, so really kind of living off of our cap recruitment. 4 right there, right? And then 3 from the volcano. So I guess we did just lose 1 here from Ashdod, but we haven't been having, we found some fire gems, but we want more. But anyway, then we're taking this group and we're going to go ahead and raid this province away from Nabaa. I could go talk to him, and now that he's actually taken Arcoscephali's capital, he still has a significant stack here. I would not want to actually fight this, but he already gave me the go-ahead to take this. So I'm just going to do it and, see how he responds. I'm assuming he's pretty, I get the sense he's just locked in on Arcoscephali, right? The game is already over in his mind, it feels like, and he's just interested in inflicting maximum damage to Arco, which works out perfectly for me. So I'll probably try to continue to be friendly because I definitely don't want this stack coming at me, while we have Anakite problems running around. But we could kill this stack. We need a minute. It's not a great time. And we would prefer it to be used on Arcoscephali. He killed their dragon. So, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, he's doing great. It's It's a shame, you know, I mean, he managed to take the enemy capital, but yeah, I guess just, you know, couldn't defend his own. So that is too bad for him. And then we can see Tianqi continuing to mass. Their fort is continuing to be locked down. So, like, yeah, really do want to get some scouts in there. I know I said that before. We're making no efforts to make that happen. You know, I could probably cut, like, 2 halberdiers that aren't even going to be born this turn anyway. Yeah, look, we just made a scout. Excellent. Because, yeah, really do need to get eyes down there. I mean, I'm moving some scouts south. We're kind of abandoning our scouting on Bandar a little bit because, like, whatever. Like, yeah, you know, he's just sitting at home. Like, there's an independent province here. There's an independent province here. Like, he has a ton of troops just sitting at home. You really want to take these, right? Every turn that you don't have the province is a turn that you're not getting the gold or the gem income from that. So unless there's a compelling reason, you know, to not take an independent province, especially one that's in your cap circle when you're sitting on a bunch of sacreds, like, come on. So, yeah, I'm not really, you know, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows the reasons people do things? So we're just going to move our scout out so we don't get patrolled out. It does say that the province defense is exceptionally powerful and very well organized, which is 1 tier above, like, the normal message that you see a lot. So that I'm pretty sure there was a PD dump here. Very glad we didn't walk into that. And we might get patrolled out. And I don't think Tiger Riders have mountain survival, but actually this pass should be open, so he could go either direction. Maybe we leave our scout in place. Oh, you know what? We'll see him if he comes here because we boarded this province. So anyway, just moving into the cave, right? Because we just want to see when the Tiger Riders move out. Like, we don't really care how many Tiger Riders are in his capital. At least not yet. And then, yeah, just trying to scout and see, like, Arco's army, right? You know, he took a capital with it. Like, you know, I want to see that coming back and hopefully catch that action. And then, of course, speaking of Bandar, I'm probably going to lose another fort here. I have that feeling it will be karma for this mountain pass business. So here's his thug. We didn't actually get a notification about this. I guess this province rebelled, probably rebelled. Anyway, he took it back with his thug. Hooray. And, like, yeah, both of these passes are open. We have 2 more months. Oh, mountain pass. Couldn't you just stayed closed like 1 more month? And of course, like, it's, you know, fall, like, so we're not that far from winter, but we're not in winter. So perhaps he's just in time, you know, to knock down this fort construction. I'm really hoping for old time's sake, he just comes here. I mean, he has a lot of places that he could raid to, right? This used to be this province. Maybe he wants it back. There's a painted cave here. He doesn't know that I'm building a fort here, but oftentimes when you see a single commander, that's a heads up. That's like, yeah, that's a fort construction. So if he comes there, he's going to knock it down, and there's really not anything we can do about that. I guess we could try to intercept. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to intercept him here just to make sure he doesn't get, you know, loose deeper in our territory. If we could make it into this swamp, we absolutely would. So we're just bringing back like roughly half of our knights, which I think will be enough to take him down. I don't recall his protection being that high, but just in case it's not, we're bringing in a little Soul Slay communion here with one of our grandmasters that was coming forward doing site searching. And, you know, we have some PD here as well, right? So, like, it's not going to stop him, but it'll take him some time to chew through it all. And so, yeah, his magic resistance was not great. We should be able to just soul slay that thug, assuming he actually comes to this province, which he probably won't since he has a lot of options, but he might. Or he might knock down our fort. And then on Mictlan itself, we are going in, but only kind of. So we're just sending in a barbarian chief to see what he can do. Just want to see what's in the fort. This is probably overly cautious, but I have been burned before, actually with this player specifically, in like these sort of last-ditch cap defense situations. So we're just going to poke our head in and see what's going on. Obviously, we want this siege to be over as quickly as possible for the gem income and the actual, you know, gold income, and just to free up our forces. But our crossbowmen are going to be a lot less effective against the Anakites. I mean, they'll still be helpful, but I'm not even sure it's going to be worth bringing them all the way back. They may just, you know, live here and protect our interests in this area. And, you know, we're already bringing back like half our knights to try to protect against this Bandar thug. And, you know, depending on how things shake out with the Bandar thug, those knights will just continue heading home. So yeah, a bit of a longer turn. I think that more or less covers it. Yeah, our halberdier is just cleaning out these birds. I'll need to talk to Xibalba and make sure sure that we don't have another bump. And then like hopefully, and I'll just seed him these 2 provinces. Like it's fine. Like I said, it gives him more of a border with Ashdod, which kind of in my favor right now. And then in terms of scouting at the world wide, or rather the wider world, we're just bringing our scout down to see if there's anything interesting happening with the throne. Uruk, like I said, is hanging on, which is probably a bad thing for us. Maybe it's okay, actually, if we can convince Javalbal to come in against Ashdod. And like, I mean, this Flagrant Force, like they broke Nazca, right? This is like 1 turn crack. Now, I mean, there is a big stack of Anakites here. So, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I actually think like Ashdod, I think the main problem, honestly, is, I don't know, hard to say. The Helix May HP route, this guy, I think is the only one who really has a chance to be killing a lot of Anakites. Maybe the Gigante Warriors, but I don't think they're going to do hot. But like, yeah, the HP route is going to be a big problem. The Bronze Colossus, I guess, maybe. Anyway, there's elements that could be problematic for, just a stack of Anakites. And so far, that's pretty much all we've seen from Ashdod is just like, he has a strong bless and he has some Anakites. So that's definitely very good, but, we're getting to the point in the game where you're going to need a little more than that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in that conflict. Definitely relevant to us. Bissia still has this throne in their cap circle they haven't cleared. They are very busy, it looks like, with Pangaea, so that is no doubt why. The siege of Pangaea is ongoing, maintained only by, 5 barbarians, well, mainly barbarians. So that's good news there. We like to see our neighbors busy. We see a force from Man headed somewhere, possibly, towards Vanheim, possibly to the south. We don't really know. They have approximately 1 million temples, as befits Man, since they get cheaper temples. And like, yeah, some of those are foreign, so he's probably popping monks out of these oftentimes, and that is probably why he has that ranged component of his bless. So arrow fend is something we can do, and that we'll definitely want if we do ever tangle with Man. But otherwise, just kind of cruising. I think with this scout, we're just gonna like try to make a circuit of the world, and just get a taste of everything that's out there before we bring him home to more relevant matters. So yeah, I think that covers turn 31.